Good everybody, it's your boy Gabriel, aka Civil, back with another video, man. Super excited to be back with you guys after that little week hiatus. Today, I just want to take some time out and discuss how I got into music. I want to give you guys a little backstory behind that, so that's what's coming up next. Stay tuned. I get to tell you guys about how I got into music. You know, being a Christian hip hop artist, or just Christian recording artist in general. You know, for me coming up, I didn't have a lot of guys that I can draw from in the Christian community that made music that I can listen to. Especially growing up in a Christian home, you know, wasn't allowed to listen to hip hop, wasn't allowed to listen to, you know, R&B or stuff that was considered secular. And so for me, there was very limited options on what I could listen to. And so that was kind of frustrating for myself, because I'm like, man, like, what can I do? I just remember an artist coming out around the time, I want to say I was either 14 or 15, an artist by the name of Bizzle, just coming out at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And man, this dude was just raw. Like, this dude was, for one, he was fire with the pen. He had lyrics. He spoke the language I spoke. So I felt like he was talking to me directly when he was spitting those lyrics. I'm like, man, you know, this dude keeps it real. He's raw. He's not quote unquote corny. You know, if we can just keep it real, like at the time, it was only a handful of Christian artists that I could think of that were okay, but they were kind of corny to me. And so that's kind of what motivated me to start doing music myself. I'm like, man, I feel like I can bring my own flavor to hip hop, to music, and so on and so forth. And I feel like I had something to share. You know, what really motivated me to do that was listening to Bizzle, because I'm like, yo, this dude, he's going out here and he's coming at these dudes next, you know. And now granted, I'm not one of those type of artists that spends time attacking other artists or trying to tear down what they're doing, but just speaking the truth. You know, he motivated me to do that. And so going back to high school, I remember I was sitting in my English class, English 3, I want to say. Shout out to Mr. Kraft at Gibbs High School. At the time, you know, we were talking about Martin Luther King, we were talking about Gandhi, we were talking about all these inspirational and influential people who stood up for a cause during a time where, you know, standing up for something could get you in prison, could get you, especially as a black man in America at the time, could get you killed, could get you, just abused and so on and so forth, facing discrimination and fighting for equal rights and all these things. And so just listening, you know, about Martin Luther King, listening about Gandhi, and now there's many other influential individuals who, you know, have stood up for causes and have made a difference, even staking their own lives, putting their lives on the line. And as you know, Martin Luther King lost his life in the process of seeking freedoms and equality for not only black people, but all Americans. And so for me, that was inspirational for me, because I'm like, yo, you know, as a Christian seeking to stand up for what I believe in a world where, let's just keep it real, Christianity isn't popular. You know, a lot of people are very loose when it comes to their faith, very loose with what they believe in. Especially now, people are very careful about what they say. And for me, I want to be one of those people that speak the truth, and I seek to continue to stand on what I believe in and promote it through my music as well as in my lifestyle, and to continue to show that God's word and God's standards are still of value, of the most value, in a world where morality and you know, things like that are kind of deteriorating. So that's how I got into music. But I would love to know, what's your story? How did you get into music? How did you start rapping? How did you start singing? How did you start doing poetry? What is it, you know, about music that has drawn you to create? So I would love to know the stories. Leave a comment. I would love to know more about you guys and how you as a creative have gotten into the things that you've gotten into, and some of the goals that you have, you know, because me as an individual who has goals and things that I'm working towards, I get motivated by hearing about other people's stories and how they got into what they're doing. Just to share a little bit with you guys, you know, I'm trying to do more of that on this channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys are not subscribers, go ahead and subscribe. Turn your notifications so that you can get notified every time I drop some new content. Look, man, we back every single week, man. Trying to stay consistent with it, man. Trying to cut out these hiatuses. But anyway, stay tuned. It's your boy Civil. Peace.